AI agents have finally entered product development, and after you finish this course, you will be able to create your first app that can create a roadmap for you. It can act like your personal assistant. Anything that you can imagine, you'll be able to build it. You do not need any coding or any technical background to get started because everything will be covered by us from scratch. So without further ado, let's begin the foundations of Emergent AI. Alright, so there's been a lot of talk about Emergent as an agentic vibe coding platform, and this entire course is going to teach you how you can both build and deploy apps using Emergent. The entire video tutorial is split into two parts where it's going to be me and Rohak both, and I'll show you how you can actually take a very simple idea. So as you can see, this is where I need to describe my idea. We've already been trying a bunch of different ideas. In fact, let me show you what I was trying out. I have actually created a proper app that is an AI roadmap generator. I can type any skill, I can say the experience level that I want this roadmap to be catered to, and it'll create like a proper step-by-step guide. And there's like a bunch of apps that we've been working on. And because there was so much of noise in the market, so much of word of mouth about Emergent and how it's different from all the other applications, I thought let's just make like a deep dive into what makes Emergent so different. In fact, I had also created another app that could create a personalized learning journey for literally anything. Like you could just specify any subject and it would create a roadmap just like this. But before we go to all of these things, right, it's important to define the why. So people say that, Ansh, I have this amazing idea for an app, but I do not know where to start. So first I will explain the fundamentals of Emergent AI as to what makes Emergent so different. Then Rohak will take you through the entire process of building with Emergent. So he will show you how you can build real apps and how exactly do you even navigate through the entire interface. Then we'll give you a 30-day roadmap that will help you convert your idea into a prototype. Now, we've spoken about software development with AI for a very long time. You already know the basics if you've been following our channel. If not, we will put more videos in the description because this video is solely about discussing why is everybody talking about Emergent AI. Now, the thing is, it covers all the basics. You describe your idea in plain English and there are certain agents that they have created within the platform. So every other vibe coding platform says that you code a bit or you prompt a bit, you get like a prototype and that's all. While this platform says that for every part of your fully functional app, we have split up the work, we have distributed the work between dedicated agents. And I'll tell you how that works. But fundamentally, visualize this entire Emergent not as a single app, but as a house of different agents. Now, anytime you're building something, there is a front end, which is the visual of the website. There is a back end where all the data is stored. There is testing so that you can test all the edge cases before a product goes live. There is authentication. For example, if you're creating a website and you want Google login or social login, then it's not a component, but it's a very important feature, which is usually very difficult to implement. And then you have deployment, which means that you take the entire app from your basic internal environment and you put it on the internet so that other people can try it out. And Emergent AI promises to build full stack solutions. What does full stack mean? That you can actually integrate your API calls, which means you can connect third-party applications and you can actually release it on a live URL with your specific custom domain. So why do we need to learn this? Why is this so important? The first differentiator is the concept of agentic vibe coding. So traditional no-code tools, whether it's Bubble or Webflow, they used to give these drag and drop interfaces, right? So if you remember, you used to take those components and you used to put them together. The usual AI builders that came after these drag and drop interfaces, they were able to create prototypes from prompts. So they never really promised that, oh, we can build the entire thing because the backend had to be connected with Supabase and all of those other things. Emergent here says that I can do it all because we have distributed the tasks amongst specialized agents. And that is why they use this thing called as agentic vibe coding. So in Emergent AI, you get a front-end agent that will handle the UX, a back-end agent that will handle your databases and the logic of how the data travels through the database, a testing agent that can catch bugs before even you try it out, and a deployment agent handling the infrastructure. And when Rohak does the live demo, you will be able to see how this works in action. The second difference is native backend versus external services. Now, let me explain this one by one. Most vibe coding applications either require Supabase, or you need to connect your external database, or you need some level of technical understanding to set up a good server. Most people are very frightened either by Supabase or by all of these common applications. But here in Emergent, you get automatic database creation and management. They have fixed built-in authentication, payment processing, file storage, real-time features like chat and notifications. They have basically created a laundry list of all the features that normal developers wanted, and they said, okay, let us help you out with all of these things. The third reason is the context window. Now, what is a context window? When you write a message to AI gives you a response. Let's just say your message is for 10 words and the AI also gives you a response of 20 words. If I add all of these together, this is 30 words. The context window is the sum of your input and the output. And in a lot of cases, the output is way bigger than the input. And you would have noticed this when you use these AI apps. The thing is that you will not see the words here. You will say 8,000 to 32,000 tokens. Now, what is a token? If I had to oversimplify it, I can say that if there is the word called psychology, then AI will never really read the word psychology as a whole. It will further break even this word down into two parts. And it will say that psychology is actually made up of psych and ology. So maybe it is a study of psyche. So tokens are even more subparts of a word. And that is why the number of tokens will always be way more than the number of words, right? Because if I say that I have 8K tokens, maybe it's just 4K words, like who knows? Now, most AI tools have context windows of 8,000 to 32,000 tokens. Emergent Pro gives you 1 million tokens. So you can obviously imagine the nuance with which you can give an input and the amount of conversations that you can have from Emergent in a single project. Now, most people think that they can just build an app and like launch it in the world and run a startup. It does not happen that way. So I have to be very real with you as to how it even works. Because before you even start building, you have to first figure out what are you even trying to build. And that is all about competitor research and, customer interviews. And we've made plenty of videos on this topic. So I'm not going to repeat that information, but I'm revising it for anybody who is watching our video for the first time, that this is the most important thing. Naval Ravikant says, what you work on and who you work with is way more important than how hard you work. You can have the best AI tools knowledge. You can have literally all the skills in the world. But if you do not know what are you trying to build, you will always run in circles. Then you need to decide who are you selling this to, and you need to be very clear about a specific customer persona. If you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one. And then you need to analyze why would they pick you, because at this point, building an app is no longer a moat. It is trust, it is distribution, it is your ability to understand someone's problem in depth. Because with AI tools coming in, building a product is going to be very easy. You know what's going to be difficult? Maintaining it, scaling it, giving it support. And that is why we always say that you always need basic foundational knowledge and vocabulary of your subject to use these tools smartly. Because if you have that, then the sky's the limit for you. When you come to Emergent, you will see the option to attach files. You can connect it to your GitHub, which is a place where you can store your code. And this is where you can select a specific agent inside Emergent. There is E1, then E1.1, then mobile, and then you have Market Pro and Market Pulse. But as beginners, you don't need to worry about this. The E1 is when you need something very reliable without any user intervention, which means that you don't have to try and test everything one by one. It takes a bit of time, but you need something reliable. When I talk about E1.1, this is when you want something cost effective and even faster. You are flexible with the testing, but you need better third-party integration support. This is mostly for agile teams that want to move fast, go to market, maybe with their version 1. So this is the Ultra feature. And once you enable this, you will allow the agent to basically think deeper through complex problems. This is where you can choose a different model. By default, I have Claude 4 Sonnet, but the Pro version also gives you Claude 4.0, which has a 1 million context window. So this is where real teams who are like building insanely complicated stuff can sort of get on the Pro plan. Now the question is, how do you prompt, right? When it comes to prompting, the fundamentals are clear, right? Even prompt engineering is kind of becoming context engineering. In Emergent, like always, you need to be very explicit and specific about what you want because it responds better to clear and concise instructions. You need to provide the context of who is using this and why are you building this and the motivation behind this. So you need to explain why these features are important to you. Once you've done that, use positive framing. This is something that we had even in mid-journey, that you never say what not to do. You have to say what you need to do. So you have to focus on what to do instead of what not to do. And if possible, add details about the UI and usability. And of course, this is difficult for a person who has never done any software development in general. And that is the thing, right? Most people think that, oh, I will skip the basics, I will skip the foundations and quickly start working on this. It doesn't work like that. What I am teaching you right now helps you get a good baseline, but this should never be your finish line, right? This can never be your finish line. So you have to be very careful about that. And inside your prompt, if you try to put your business goals, your core features in a formatted way, it always does a better job. So I'm just taking you through the fundamentals because we'll have a dedicated section by Rohak, who is a software engineer. He's been building products. He's way, way better at doing this. So we are actually onboarding a bunch of new instructors at the Cutting Edge School. And what we'll do is we'll now shift the entire focus to Rohak's screen. I have Rohak here with me. He will now take you through the entire platform. And once he's done, I will also show you how you need to think about your next 30 days in order to become better at building your products with Emergent.
Hi everyone. Now that Ansh has already covered the basics for you, I'll teach you exactly how you can use Emergent. Now I know that each one of you has a brilliant unicorn startup idea that you have always wanted to build, but the only thing stopping you was technical development. Well, today, using Emergent, you can make it live. So for that, simply head over to emergent.sh. As soon as you open emergent.sh, you will be prompted to sign up using Google, GitHub, or your Apple account. After signing up into Emergent, this is the exact dashboard that you'll see. You can see that you have an area to enter your prompt or to explain your idea to your AI agent or Emergent builder. Then you also get an option to upload files and images. This can be your mockups, your user diagrams, etc. Along with this, you also get an option to connect your GitHub account. For those who don't know what GitHub is, GitHub lets you store and manage your code base. After that, you also get an option to select your agent. Now, these are the following options for your agents. You can see that you have E1, E1.1, a mobile agent, a market pulse, which is a custom agent that we built. We will also be teaching you how you can build custom agents on Emergent. And then you also get an option to create new agent as well as manage your agents. Now let me tell you what is the main difference between E1 and E1.1. As you can see that E1 is more stable while E1.1 is faster, which means that E1 helps you in complete testing of your applications. And you can use E1.1 and you want your agent to work and build applications for you while you handle all the testing. After that, you also get an option for the ultra thinking. Well, when AI models work, it's always better for them to think first and then deploy. This is the exact option that you can use for thinking of your AI agents. Now, you also get an option to select your LLM model. Claude 4.0 Sonnet is your default mode, while you can also select GPT-5, which is in beta version, and you can also select Claude 4.0 extended version, which is available on the Pro plan. Now let us see what are the other settings that you can use to configure your agent. You can also select a MCP tool for your agent. For those who don't know, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. Consider it like a language that your AI agents use to conversate with tools and other AI agents. This is a very interesting topic in this AI agents era. You can also use any of the available MCP tools, or you can create your new MCP server. You can simply create Superbase MCP or Notion MCP by simply entering your API key. Now, what is Superbase? Superbase is backend as a service, which means it helps you maintain your data in a database. This can be helpful when you are building some kind of authorization where you want to store emails, password, or some kind of sign-up functionality for your application. Now, you also get an option to select your template. You get two options, which is full stack template or base Python template. So for those who don't know, full stack stands for your complete application, which includes front end as well as your back end. While your base Python template only includes a basic Python template, some kind of landing page or a basic website. And you can also set a budget for your agent, in which you can define your maximum number of credits for your agents. For example, if I want my particular example to use only 10 credits, then I will set the upper limit to 10 credits. This can help you save cost as well as credits while building or development on Emergent. And the privacy is always private. You can see that there is no other option, which means that your idea remains your idea unless and until you deploy it. Then let's see what other settings do we have. Now, on the bottom of this input box, you can see that you get some ideas, which is clone Spotify, a budget planner, or simply click on Surprise Me to see what Emergent can build. You can also hit refresh and you get an option to clone YouTube, a habit tracker, a consult plus, or again, a Surprise Me. Now, cloning of the websites has been super easy using Emergent. On the top right, you can see the number of credits that you have. For example, you can see that available credits on my particular plan is 81.63. The daily credits, I've used all of my 10 credits. Well, I'm at minus 1.3. The monthly credits are 72.37 out of 100, and you can always buy credits on your Emergent account by simply clicking on Buy More Credits. Let's scroll a little bit to see what else Emergent Dashboard offers. Here you can see all your recent tasks or all your recent ideas that you have been working on. You can see that we have worked on Skill Journey Map, Lens Wizard, and a lot more. We have worked on lot of ideas and tried Emergent fully, which means we can give you some amazing tips and tricks that you can use while building on Emergent. On the right side of this, you can see your deployed apps. Once you have configured your application, it's always better to deploy it so that the world can actually use it. And it takes only 50 credits per month to make your idea live and available to the world. Let's scroll a little bit, and here you can see all the amazing websites, application, etc. built by people as well as the Emergent team. You have AI apps, you have digital sidekicks, you have landing pages, you have hack and play, etc. Now, let me tell you what we are going to build as our first project on Emergent. Now, whenever you start something new or enter a new industry, it's always very confusing on what resources to learn from, what exact roadmap to pick. Also, people spend thousands of rupees for counselors to guide them. What if we can build an actual application using Emergent called Roadmap Generator? Let me tell you exactly how you can build it. This is how you can build your idea on Emergent. So here you have a text box where you have to explain your idea. Now, pro tip number 1, always explain your idea in the first prompt only. Explain the idea as much as possible with as much as detail possible in your first prompt. So for that, let us use ChatGPT. So I'll now simply head over to ChatGPT and enter my prompt, which is I want to build an app called AI Roadmap Generator on the platform called Emergent. Now I'm asking ChatGPT to enhance my prompt and give me a ready-to-use template or prompt that I can use directly in Emergent for better ideation. The audience for this will be people who are college students or are interested in learning AI and design. For example, if I enter that I want to learn UX design, then AI should give me proper roadmap with official resources and links on very visually attractive board. Here's my YouTube channel in which I have pasted the Cutting-Edge School channel. I also want to provide relevant videos for this channel as a resource. And I have also explained that I will be using OpenAI's API key for the roadmap generation. I have the key, now give me the prompt for Emergent that I can simply copy and paste. Now, we also ask it to give the prompt in the following format. It should include business goals, core features, as well as your target users. Now, this is the exact prompting guide that Anj informed you about before. Let me hit enter. Now, as you can see that ChatGPT has given us a prompt that we can use directly in Emergent. So I'll simply copy this prompt, go back to my Emergent dashboard and paste it. Let us re-verify our prompt to see if it missed something. Now we have pasted our exact prompt that ChatGPT gave us, and now we will simply enter. As you can see that Emergent has started to build our idea. It says, "Welcome to Emergent, your single destination to build and deploy production-ready applications. I see you are aiming to build a fantastic AI roadmap generator to help students and self-learners navigate their learning. I'll break down your vision into actionable steps focusing on curated resources and engaging user experience. I'll start building this for you right away." Now, as you can see, that agent is asking question first. The first question is LLM integration. For generating the roadmap with OpenAI, which approach would you prefer? To use emergent key or directly your access key of OpenAI. You can also see that you have app structure, roadmap display, and YouTube integration. Now, for those who don't understand what this emergent LLM key is, let me show you what emergent LLM key stands for. When you go to account settings, let me open it up in a new tab. So Emergent has created a universal key for you, which have all the LLM providers, or you can also choose from your respective LLM providers, and you can directly use this key to call any of the available LLM models. Now let's answer all the emergent questions. The first one is LLM integration. For generating the roadmap with OpenAI, which approach would you prefer? Using emergent LLM or your own OpenAI key? I'll prefer my own OpenAI key for this example. And here I'll paste my OpenAI key. To get your OpenAI key, all you have to do is go to OpenAI's dashboard. Now, once you have logged in into your OpenAI account, you can simply click on your profile, see the API keys option on the left side, and create a new API key to use in your emergent. To create a new API key, all you have to do is click on this create new API key, and let's say emergent AI. You'll select your project to default project and create your secret key. Now you can simply copy this key, head over to emergent and paste your OpenAI key here. Now going to our second question, which is app structure. How would you like the user journey to be? A landing page, a roadmap generator, a more complex experience, direct roadmap generator interface. So I'll choose a direct roadmap generator. And the third one is roadmap display. How should the interactive roadmap board look? A timeline, a mind map, or a card based? Let us use the timeline method. And for the YouTube integration, for the cutting edge school, should I use a embedded video directly in roadmap, show video thumbnails with links, or to create a separate resource section? So just provide the link, the hyperlink for the YouTube. And let's see what happens after we hit enter. It says that the agent is now running. Let's see what happens here. So it says, great. Now I have a clear direction and it has started to integrate OpenAI's latest GPT model for the text. It also says, now let me explore the current code base structure to understand what we are working with. Now these are all the steps that your agent undergoes. So now it says that it has a clear understanding and it has started to integrate your AI roadmap generator. So as you can see that it has already begun to create actual files for you, which is backend/.env. .env is a file in your coding which stores all your secrets. For example, if I have an OpenAI key, I'll store it into a .env file. If I have any integration or a security API key, I'll store it in my env. As you can see, it's working on the backend part. It's installing some of its packages. See how cool is it? You can actually see what your agent is undergoing for the development. Now, as you can see that it takes some time because it's actually building the application for you. It says that pip freeze the requirement.txt. Now, I'll also explain what this requirement.txt is. Requirement.txt file contains all your packages and version. For example, if I am downloading a Python package called PyTorch and I want a specific version for it, for example 1.8. So in my requirement.txt, I'll write PyTorch equal to 1.8. This is me locking the version of my PyTorch. So pip freeze means that agent has decided what all packages to use and what specific versions to use. Now, since this agent is running, I'll show you what other options do you get. We have already seen the save to GitHub option, and you also get an option to fork your chats. That is, get the exact details of your conversation as well as your project and move it to a new project. It helps you start from where you left once your context window is already completed in a particular agent. And you also get an option for this ultra thinking. On the right side of it, you get an option for the code, which we will explore later. You get an option for preview once your app is generated or your application is generated. In this preview option, you can exactly see what have you built. And you get an option to deploy your application also. Now it says, now let me implement the complete AI roadmap generator using bulk file writer. I'll create both the backend with OpenAI's integration and a beautiful timeline based front-end interface. It created 3 files. You can simply click on this option to explore those files. As you can see that it has written a code for you. Now, if you are a non-technical person, it takes months to write this level of code. You get app.js, app.css, your server.py. Py stands for Python. On the right side, you can see that you have already started to get your preview. Let me close this. Let's see what other options that agent has created for you. It says great. Now let me install the Sonar Toast dependency for the front end. It's kind of a package for your front end library. On the right side, you can see the preview of your application. You get AI roadmap generator, get personalized learning paths and AI end design with curated resources, official documentation and structured guidance for your journey. You get option for generate roadmap. It has also provided an option to see your available roadmaps or the roadmaps that you generated before. It says, what do you want to learn? For example, UX design, machine learning, computer vision, React development. You can enter anything. And in the backend, the OpenAI will give a complete personalized roadmap for you. On the left side, that you can see that it has already edited your app slash frontend slash src slash app.js. App.js is your entry file for your application. Let us see what's in the app.js. It says import toast from Sonar and it corrected it to import toast, toaster from Sonar. Now this is a coding language or a coding syntax that you don't need to worry about. It will be taken care by your emergent agent. Now let me test the application by taking a screenshot to see how it works. Now since we have selected even agent, which is why it is completing the testing for you. It says perfect. The application is loading beautifully. Now let me test the core functionality by generating a roadmap. So as you can see that till now, all other no-code builders and any of the LLM models were only able to generate the websites or applications for you. But what Emergent has done, it has included a testing agent for you. So once the AI has created or developed something for you, it tests it fully and after that give it to you for your testing. It says, excellent, the roadmap generation is working perfectly. I can see the success toast notification and the generated UX design roadmap. Let me scroll down to see more of your roadmap timeline. It's doing the complete testing for us. Now, every software team includes two core teams, which is the development team as well as the QA team. The QA team ensures that the product that you built is completely functional and ready to deploy. Well, using Emergent, you get the power of both of these teams, which is your development team as well as your QA team. It says perfect. I can see the application is working beautifully. The My Roadmaps tab is working and showing the generated roadmap in the history. Let me now run a comprehensive test using the testing agent to ensure everything is working properly. Now, as you can see on the right side, you have a beautiful preview of your application, and on the left side, your agent is still working for better output. Now, let us see the prompting that's going underneath. Please test the AI Roadmap Generator application comprehensively. YouTube videos from Cutting Edge, application details, app.frontend/src.app.js, integration testing, which is end-to-end flow, generate roadmap, save to database, display plus mark steps complete, test different experience, execution is in progress. So now you can see that agent has completed its testing and given us a complete summary for our application. It says that I have implemented the roadmap generator application with the features and integrations. It has included your core features as well as your technical implementation, the testing results, etc. Now it gives you option to save to GitHub as well as preview. So on the right side, we are already previewing our application. Let us do a simple refresh and search for example, UX design. I'll select the experience level as beginner only and click on Generate Learning Roadmap. Let's see if our application actually works. Now, in some cases, if your application breaks or doesn't work, all you have to do on the left side, tell your even agent that it's not working, it's giving the following problem, and it will fix it for you. As you can see, now my roadmap is being generated. It says Beginner's Roadmaps to UX Design, a structured part to mastering UX design fundamentals, enabling you to design user-centered experiences. It says beginner. It says that it will take me 10 to 14 weeks. It also has given me a progress bar. It has given me steps, understanding the basics of UX design, learning the difference between UI. It has given me resources. The first one is the interaction design course. Let us open this resource. Now, as you can see, if I click anywhere, it's not opening the resource, which can be a feedback number 1. Same goes for second resource. Now you can see that it has also given us the cutting edge school videos, which I can simply click and open in my new tab. Now you can see that it's redirecting me to the exact channel that I mentioned in the prompt. How cool is that? And it has also given me step 2, which is user research fundamentals. It has also given me step 3, understanding user personas. It has also given me step 4, which is basics of information architecture. Step 5 is wireframing and prototyping. Step 6 is designing and usability in mind. Step 7, Step 8, Step 9, and much more. And step 9 is our last step. Now, as you can see that it has generated a complete roadmap for me to learn UX design. Let us try with a different topic. For example, machine learning. And let me select the level as intermediate this time. You click on generate your roadmap. Let's see if it gets executed. So you can see that how easy it is to build your idea in Emergent. It takes minutes to build this idea. Now, traditional software development will take about months to create something like this. It has perfect UI, perfect backend, perfect working condition of your application. Now, since it also gave a pop-up which says roadmap generated successfully. Now, this is called a toaster. When we saw that agent was generating or importing a toaster, this is exactly what it meant. It's called Roadmap Generated Successfully. Let's see. It says Intermediate Machine Learning Mastery Roadmap. Step 1, Advanced Supervised Learning Techniques, assuming that we already know the basics, the resources which are scikit-learn library. So for those who don't know, scikit-learn is the number one library for you to use or train AI models. The links are actually working. These are all valid links. It has also given us some free topics. It says Pattern Recognition and Machine Learning by Christopher Bishop. And along with this, it has also mentioned the cutting edge school videos. It includes step 3, step 4. Every step has a topic, a detailed description, as well as the resources links. It has also included the time that it will take to complete your resource. Now let us ask the agent to make those links clickable. So let us say these links are not clickable. And that's it. Now the agent will test for you, do the next development for you, and will keep you posted every time. Now let's see on the top right, what other options do we get? You get option to share, to refresh, or to open it in a new tab. After you open it in a new tab, this is your application. So you can see that your AI roadmap generator is here. Get personalized learning paths in AI and designed with curated resources, official documentation, and structured guidance for your journey. You can also see my roadmaps. Oh, my roadmap is also working. You can see that all the roadmaps that I generated is shown here. How cool is that? You get a complete working application using Emergent. Going back to our Emergent dashboard, on the left side, you can see that the agent is working for you. Now, you also get an option to share your project. It says share your app. So it also gives you HTTPS links that you can share with all of your friends. But only one concern, that these links expire in 30 minutes. That is, after 30 minutes, you either have to share a new link or you can deploy your application so that the world can use it. Let me close this. Let's see on the left what's been going on with our agent. It says now let me test the fix with a screenshot to see if the links are now clickable. Going a little bit above, you can see that the agent was fixing files for you. You can see the actual fix that it did. Now, if you are from a non-technical background, this is just some coding fixes that your agent is taking care for you. You can see before this, it was just a static text and no hyperlink was given. After this, some hyperlinks were given, etc. Let's close this and see. Okay, so now it says, perfect, the fix is now working. Let us refresh our agent. And this time, let's search for web development. Choose the version as advanced and click on generate your roadmap. So now in the backend, your OpenAI key is working and your GPT model is working to build a personalized roadmap for you. You can see that it's been generating. Now you get a toaster which says roadmap generated successfully. Let us see. It says advanced web development mastery. It also has a tag called advanced, which is in red color. Now these are some very useful UI changes that your agent is taking care of. See, the links are now clickable. If I click on this JavaScript info, I get redirected to a new page. If I click on second link, I get redirected to another resource. How cool is that? That your application is now working. You get step 2, you get step 3, you get step 4, and a complete roadmap is generated by you using Emergent. Now, using Emergent, you can build these kind of applications which has some real world use cases and deploy it and let the world use it. So this was our project 1 on Emergent. Now for our next project, I'll show you how you can build mobile apps using Emergent. So this was an example for a website. Now I'll tell you exactly how you can use mobile development agent to build your mobile apps. So for that, simply head over to Home tab. Close your current AI generation and clear this input prompt. Now, here is the problem. Every second day, a new AI tool is coming up. Now, Google has recently launched Nano Banana. Now, what if you can use that Nano Banana and create a tool on top of it, which is a mobile app? How cool will that be? Now, let's see how we can create that. So, for that, I'll simply go back to ChatGPT, open a new chat, and explain my idea that I want to build using Nano Banana. So I have explained it to take the uploaded image of the user, generate 4 professional studio photographs. I have also given variations. Variation number 1 includes formal headshot. Variation number 2 includes 3 to 4 profile shots. Variation number 3 includes full body profile shot, etc. And then in the last, I have mentioned it to give the final prompt for Emergent AI covering following, which is business goal, core features, target users, and success criteria. So this is the prompting guide that Ansh has already covered. I click on enter. Now it's giving me the prompt that I can simply use in my Emergent. You can see how detailed the prompt is. I'll simply copy this prompt, go back to my Emergent and paste it. But make sure this time you select mobile agent because we are building mobile apps for this example. And enter. It says, welcome to the Emergent, your single destination to build and deploy production-ready application. It sounds like you are creating a fantastic mobile app that transforms a single photo into 4 professional portraits. Perfect for boosting anyone's professional image. I'll get the setup for you right away. I'll start building this now. On the right side, you can see that your app preview is already started. It's not a website preview, it's an app preview because you selected mobile development. On the left side, it's processing next steps. Now on the right side, you have got a pop-up. It says we have upgraded the Expo version for better performance. I have updated the Expo app. I'll do it later. On the left side, you can see that the agent is asking some questions for you. It says that the AI image generation service, which AI service should I use for generating the professional portraits? OpenAI DALL-E, via Emergent LLM key Stability AI or Midjourney. API keys, should I use the Emergent LLM key for seamless integration or do you have a specific API key, image quality and testing, etc. So let's tell it that we want to use Google Nano Banana API for image generation. Let's see if the universal LLM key have this Nano Bananas API or else we'll use it from the Google directly. So now it says that perfect. I'll use Google Nano Bananas API for the image generation. Let me get the integration playbook for this service first, then I'll start building your application portrait generator app. Now the agent is actually planning for you, which is it's getting the resources, it's reading the API documentation for you, and then it will start the building. This is the actual process in the software development. First you do the R&D, which is research and development. You collect all your resources, go through all your API documentation, and then you start the building. After the development, it goes to your QA team. The QA team tests your product and then it goes to your deployment team. The deployment team is different from all of these teams. It is responsible for setting up the servers, connecting domains, etc. Using Emergent, you get your complete software development team from R&D to deployment. Now it says that great, now I have the integration details for Google Nano Bananas API. Let me create a comprehensive plan and start building the professional portrait generator app. And at any time, you can exactly see what your agent is working on. If I click on this, I can see all the files that my agent has created. Now I know that it might be a little scary for all the software developers out there. But instead of getting scared of technologies like this, you should actually use Emergent to build some amazing ideas and help you in your software development. It says, perfect, now I have understand the current project structure. Let me create a comprehensive plan and start implementing the professional journey. It's configuring the agent on the left side. On the right side, you can see that you have started to get the preview of your agent. It has some kind of server error. It's because the agent is currently under development. And best thing about Emergent is whenever you get or encounter any kind of error, Emergent fixes itself, or you just tell the Emergent to fix the particular problem for you, and it does. It's like the same that we did for our external links on the last project, in which the project links were not working, the resources were not opening in a new tab, and we told our agent that this particular part is not working. It configured it, it tested it, and then it provided us the final solution. Now on the left side, you can see that it's getting the emergent LLM key and adding it in the backend environment. It's doing basically everything for you, setting up the backend, setting up the front end, actually making sure that you have a ready to deploy production application. Traditionally, this will take months or even years to build something on mobile, but now using Emergent, it's super easy. Now it says that I need to install the missing front-end packages and update the requirement.txt for the backend. Let me fix these issues. On the left side, you can see that the services are running. Let me take a screenshot to see the current state of the app. Let us also do a simple refresh on the right side to see if the preview has been fixed or not. Well, you can see the preview was fixed. Emergent encountered an error. It fixed itself. It's using Google Nano Banana in the backend, and it has generated a mobile application for you. So what does this mean for you? Well, you can create your particular application on your idea using any of the available AI tools. For example, I'm using Nano Banana to create professional photo shots. You can use Google's VO3 to create marketing ads for different people or different companies. The applications are limitless. On the left side, you can see the mobile app is now loading perfectly and showing a professional portrait generator interface. Let me now update the test result MD file to run the backend testing to ensure our APIs are working correctly. Now the Even agent does the complete testing for you, which includes your backend testing as well as your front-end testing. It ensures that before giving or delivering your product, it's completely tested. So in this case, you act as a client and Emergent acts as your software development team or your technical partner. It ensures that what it's delivering, it's completely 100% working. Let's see, I can see the backend is running now and the front end is loading properly. Let me test the backend endpoint to ensure they are working correctly. On the left side, you can see that your app is now successfully created. You can see that you have an option to save to GitHub as well as preview. This time, let's use save to GitHub first. Now you get an option to save to your GitHub. You can simply create new repository for your GitHub account, and I'll name it Nano Banana Portrait. So this is my repository name. So it says Nano Banana Portrait already exists. I'll name it Nano Banana Portrait V2, and I'll click on save. And I'm saving my code base into my GitHub organization. Let's see. It says successfully saved to GitHub account. This is my link to view on my GitHub. You can see all my files, git ignore, git config, all the test file, all the front-end code base as well as the back-end code base is now on my GitHub account. I can also showcase this on my LinkedIn and everywhere, or basically build my portfolio based on this project. Going back to our Emergent, I'll click on OK, got it. Right side, you can see that our professional portrait generator is now generated. Now let me test this. I'll select choose photo from gallery and I've selected one of my images and I'll click on generate professional photoshoot. Now this will show us if our agent is working or not. Let's see what's the output for this particular thing is. On the right side, you can see that your Google's Nano Banana API is working in the backend, which means that it has taken your photo as input and it's generating the image for you. Now it takes some time for LLM models to generate an image for you. Let's see if it's able to give the output to us or not. Now, as you can see that it has generated some very beautiful portrait images for me. I have my formal photo shoot, I have my profile shot, I have my corporate portrait, and I also have my lifestyle professional. I can select any one of this and click on this download button. Also, I get an option to preview this on mobile. So this is where Emergent stands out. You can actually try your application on your mobile. All you have to do is download this Expo Go app on your mobile application and scan this QR, and you will get this exact preview on your mobile. And you can even show it to your friends or your colleagues, or just deploy it and let the whole world use it. So now you can also see that I get an option to share it, which is https preview.emergent.com link. I can copy this link, share it with everyone. I also get to open it in a new tab. And here you can see that this is my website for my Emergent. So along with app, you also get a website. I can select choose from gallery. It has also included some description for me. It says what you'll get. It says a formal headshot, a 3x4 profile shot, a corporate portrait, as well as a lifestyle professional. Now, going back to our Emergent dashboard. On the top right, you can see an option for your code. Preview is something that we have already explored. Code is something that I'll teach you now. And publish is what makes your deployment successful on your Emergent, which means by clicking on publish, you'll be able to deploy your app so that the world can use it. You can even list it on Play Store or App Store so that I can download your applications. I click on this code. Now it gives me a VS Code link. So for those who don't know, VS Code is an editor for the coding platforms, which means if I need to write a code or to create a project using coding, I'll have to use VS Code as my editor. It's kind of like Notepad is for text, VS Code is for other languages. And you can see that it has given me a link as well as a password. I'll copy this password and click on open in browser. It prompts me for a password. I'll paste my password and click on submit. And let's see. Click on never. And you can see that it has opened an online VS Code editor for me, which means I can actually work on my code from here. It says Emergent. I can see all my backend files. Let's check requirement.txt. So if you remember what I told you about requirement.txt, these are all the packages as well as their versions. I'll go to front end. I can see assets. I can see fonts. And I can see that space mono regular is being used for my project. I can also see my env file in which you can see all my secrets. Now using this editor, I can actually type or make modifications to my project. Like if I enter and now if instead of using Nano Banana, I want to use OpenAI, right? So in my env file, I'll have to specify my OpenAI API key. I'll write OpenAI API key. And then I'll define my API key here. For example, SK and something. And then use this variable in another part of my project, which is going to my backend integration, going to server.py and actually writing the code here. Now, if you don't know how to write a code, you can simply take a help from ChatGPT or even directly ask Emergent to make the following modifications for you. But if there's something that you want to add, you can do it from here. Like here, you can also create your specific class. Like if I say class work, and in this, I'll pass base model only. And then below this, I can define, for example, if I want to use VO3 instead of image data, I'll define video data and it will be a base 64 string also. So I'll define its string. And like this is how you can add any of your feature using the online VS Code. So Emergent is already working for you. If you get a chance to add something, you can use it, the VS Code generation. Now, this is something that not most of the available no-code tools offer, which is direct editing. And you can simply push your code from this particular part. On the left side, this is my GitHub icon. It shows my changes, right? So this is me showing you how to actually use VS Code. On the left side, you can see the changes that I made. You also see that the yarn log file was also modified. To push my changes, all I have to do is click on this add button. It goes to stage changes, and here I'll type a simple message like edit changes for video, right? And as soon as I click on commit and push, this code will be reflected on my GitHub. So now my GitHub account will keep the updated code for me. And since Emergent is also connected to my GitHub, it will also do a pull operation. Like from the VS Code, I'm doing a push operation on my code. Emergent will have to do a pull operation to get the latest updates. Going back to our Emergent, so this is how you can easily create a mobile app using Emergent. So till now, we have seen how you can create websites, you can create mobile apps. Now, very interesting part comes up. Now, what if I want to make an agent for myself that will do the research for me on a particular topic? Like I don't want to use E1 or E1.1, which is the available models or the mobile agent. I'll show you how you can create your agent and define it yourself using Emergent. Let's go back to our home tab, close this. On the E1 part, select create new agent. Now creating new agent is something what the Pro plan offers. So Pro plan offers you to create your custom agents. Now let us see, the first part is defining your agent. Your agent is the only good as the instructions you give it, which is the rule for the prompting. Think of this as writing a job description for your ideal AI teammate, which means that I'm like creating or training my employee, my intern, or my teammate. Be specific about what they are, what they do, and how they work. On the right side, you can see that you get an option to give your agent a name. So I'll name my agent Market Pro. And this is supposed to do the research for me on the market. I'll select the template. Now you get the following options for the template. You get Python template, you get Fast API plus React template, you get mobile template as well as Next.js template. So for those who don't know, Python is one of the coding languages, React is one of the frameworks, mobile template is what we saw, and Next.js is also a kind of framework built on React. So for this example, Fast API plus React template is best for us. On the system prompt, you can define what actually your agent will do. For example, you are a full stack developer focused on building MVP extremely quickly. The code task is to identify the maximum value feature. Now, this is something similar to what E1 and E1.1 does. Maybe this is their exact prompt that they are using for E1 or the base prompt that they are using for E1 and E1.1. So I'll replace this system prompt with my prompt. So it says that you are a market pro, a senior market research analyst with 8+ years of experience at the top consulting firms like McKinsey. And I have defined much more in this. Now this says some of the system constraints. This is only read only. This is something that I can't modify. It gives the current date and time, which is crucial for the agents to work. Now, the next step will be to add tools for your agents, because once your teammate is active, the next step will be to give him the resources to work on. Now we are at the step 2, which is select tools. It says equip your agent with the right capabilities. Tools are essential for your agent to operate and work, which is the actual definition or the base definition of selecting tools. On the right side, you can see you can select MCP tools, or you can also select other tools that Emergent has already configured for you, which is Perplexity Deep Research, Get Assets tool, Screenshot tool, Web Search tool. See, this screenshot tool is same that we saw our E1 and E1.1 agent do for us. Like while testing, it was taking the screenshots for us. You have some default tools, which is execute bash, ask human, finish, view file, search, replace, etc. Now, I have already selected all of my tools. I'll click on continue. Now the step 3 is to give my teammate some interns to work with, which is configuring sub-agents, which is report writer. Let's give a report writer intern to my teammate. The second one is data analyzer. Okay. Research collector is also a good intern. Now some of the emergent sub-agents, which is vision agent, full stack testing agent, front-end testing agent, and much more. And let's click on review agent. So review agent info. Final check before launch. Please review your agent. My agent name is Market Pro. This is the system prompt. And this is the execute best. These are all the tools that my agent works on. These are all the sub agents that my agent works on. And I'll click on save your agent. So now I have created my custom agent that works on my tools and my defined sub agents. Like I have created my employee, or let's say I've created my teammate that works on what task I define as well as what resources that I have provided. So to work on your custom agent, all you have to do is select this drop down and select this Market Pro agent instead of E1 and E1.1. Like I have given a simple prompt for my AI agent to work on, which is to conduct comprehensive market research on AI glasses. Let us send this and let's see how our agent works. It says, welcome to Emergent, your single destination to build and deploy production ready applications. And it says that your agent is now working. Now, agent is asking some questions for us. This is geographic scope, market segments priority, specific region. Let's give it North America. Market segments priority. Which segments are most important for your analysis? Let's say consumer AR only. And it has specified meta, ribbon, etc. And for the report format preference, let's use the first part only. So as you can see that you have configured your agent and now your agent is asking for your approvals as well as your permissions to work on the following parts. Now this initial prompt enables the agent to understand what actually you are trying to achieve. And let's do investment decision making only. So now my teammate has asked me some of the questions and I have given the answer. Now it's doing the market research for me. How cool is that? Like I have trained one of my teammate or one of my employee to do the work for me. It says, excellent, I'll conduct a comprehensive North American consumer AR glasses market research focused on investment decision making. Let me begin with phase 2, the primary research collection. Like it should be a title, primary research collection. Now as you can see that the agent is now working. Also build an AI agent using Emergent. All you have to do is define in the system prompt your API key. Now you can see that the agent has proceeded to phase 3, which is analysis and synthesis to transform this raw research into strategic investment. Now as you can see that these 10 sub-agents also worked. Now clicking on this, you can see all the output or prompt that your sub-agent received. Let's see. I'll conduct a comprehensive market research on the North American consumer AR glasses market for investment analysis. I'll focus on market sizing. You can see it focused on market sizing. You can see at around, it includes your report, which is the North American consumer AR glasses market size is estimated at around US dollars 2.39 billions in 2024 and is projected to grow at compound annual rate of approximately 25%. Like this is what Meta knows. On the left side, you can see that the agent is working on the phase 3. Let's wait for it to get executed. Now let's see what this agent is working on in phase 3. It's working on strategic analysis. Meta dominates with 73% market share, which is absolutely true. You can see all the research. This is AI integration, 5G battery tech, SS consumer adoption curve, and tipping point indicators, etc. Okay, now it says that let me proceed to phase 4, which is professional report creation to format these insights into comprehensive consulting grade market brief. Now you can see that the third phase used 28 sub-agent messages. Let's see what these sub-agent messages were. Oh, I saw a report. Oh, see. North American consumer AR glasses market. It says market size projected, meta market share as well as addressable market. It also tells investment opportunities, AR application platforms, time horizon, 45% expected ROI. Like this is a cool report. Maybe the agent got it from somewhere or actually created this because our agent is capable of doing this. The strategic analysis dashboard is working perfectly, which means that this report was generated by our market pro agent. Let's see another report. Time horizon 2 years. I think it's the same report, but it looks good. Like it's visually very good. And the last message was the application successfully transforms raw material research data into actionable strategic investment insights, providing investors with comprehensive analysis tools for design making in the rapidly growing AR glasses market. Now you can see that you also get a rollback option on your agents. Like this is the option that you get everywhere in all of your agents, whether it's E1, E1.1, etc. So if you see that your agent or a particular development is not of use or invalid, you can simply click on this rollback button. So your application will be moved to the previous completed state. So for example, if I'm working on my application using Emergent and I add a new feature, if that feature is not working correctly, I can simply click on the rollback button and my application will be moved to the previous stable version. Like this is one of the core fundamentals of software development. Also, this is why people uses GitHub, because in GitHub you also get all the previous states as well as commits. Okay, on the left side you can see that it says, now let me take a screenshot of the strategic analysis dashboard to confirm everything is working properly and present the final deliverables, which means it has completed doing the research for you and it's ready for the final deliverable. It says, let me check the front end logs and try to access it. It's checking the front end for you. Now, why it's building the front end for you? Because if you remember, while configuring tools as well as subagents, we gave it access to the front end development tools as well as front end development subagents. You can see that it shows a command, a Python command specifically, python-m plugins.tools.agent.qabot. Python is one of the programming languages and one of the core languages that Emergent uses to build your applications. It says perfect, the strategic analysis dashboard is working beautifully. Now let me use the testing agent to verify the full functional before finalizing the report. Now as you can also see, there's the option to fork your conversation. Now what does this fork mean? Now fork option in conversations enables you start a new conversation using your previous context memory. Now let me explain it better. So what happens when you fork a conversation? When you click on fork, a new conversation will be started and this conversation will have the context of your previous conversation with the previous project. For example, if I fork this particular example, I'll take my AR glasses research with me in the next chat. So from that, I can do the another research on top of this research. Same goes for our previous examples. If I have already created a tool using Nano Bananas API, I can use or fork that particular project and then ask my AI agent to work on using OpenAI's image generation. So now I'll have two projects. The one uses Nano Banana and the second one uses OpenAI's generation. So both of these will be different projects, but the one came out from the fork of the first project. As you can see, the logo of the fork explains a lot. So on the left side, you can see that you have got a very detailed summary on your task, which is comprehensive AI glasses market research is now completed. It says North America consumer AR glasses market. Look how beautifully it has structured everything for you. The market size, the projected gap, the meta market share, as well as addressable market, investment opportunities for you, AR application platforms, display and optics technology, consumer AR hardware manufacturing, 5G and edge computing. Like this is a top level research that anybody can do. And this was generated using our prompt, which means that if you can give a better prompt, you can create a better report than this. Like this is already good. Let's see by opening this report in a new tab. Okay. So whenever you create something using any kind of coding languages and all, it gets very difficult to get it responsive. Responsive means if I'm working on mobile, all my data should be in my mobile space. If I'm working on laptop, it should be on my whole screen. Using Emergent, what I've seen so far, it works with responsiveness. As you can see, this is a very beautiful report that we have generated using our custom agent on Emergent. You can create any kind of custom agent. For example, a custom agent to create a PPT for you. Like you can also create a custom agent to create decks for you. You can also create a custom agent to do the front end integration for your project. You can also create a custom agent to do the market research for you, which is exactly what we created. So let me also show you how this fork option works. Fork this session with a summary. It says continue your work in a new conversation while keeping the important context from this session. Perfect for continuing complex projects without losing progress. So after a certain time, the context memory of your AI agent gets filled. So after that, the agent gives you the slow responses. So it's better to keep the whole context and move it into a next conversation. It says context preserved, memory refresh, as well as spend less. Let me click on this process to summarization. It says extracting features, generating summary. Now it's creating a complete summary of my conversation so far, like the quality of report that I generated, etc. Extracting feature requirements, and here it is. I have a review summary for my particular market pro agent. This is my analysis, this is my project requirement. So this is basically a prompt that it has generated for me. Like this is the kind of detailed prompt that you need to give for all your development on Emergent. If I click on approve and continue, it says keep current agent or switch to default agent. I'll keep my current agent only and I'll click on start forking. Now it says forking to a new session, initializing the fork process. Now, until this is being done, let's deploy one of our applications that we built today so you get clear on how to deploy your apps using Emergent. I'll duplicate this tab, go back to my home. So this is my home. Let me scroll down and find my first example, which was AI roadmap generation. I'll click on this AI roadmap generation. It says that the agent is waiting. Let's see what the agent is waiting for. So let me click on preview. Okay, the preview works fine. Let me close this and let us now deploy our application using Emergent. It says deploy our application to an Emergent hosted production ready environment. This will make it publicly accessible with managed infrastructure that never sleeps, which means Emergent takes care of your deployment, which is super cool. If I click on start deployment, it says your account will be charged 50 credits per month. You can shut down your deployment anytime to stop charges for the next month. It says preview first recommended. To avoid deployment issues and wasted credits, please preview your app first to ensure it's working correctly. We have already checked our AI roadmap generator and it worked beautifully. So it says deployment usually takes around 5 to 7 minutes. I'll click on deploy now and that's it. You can see that the deployment is now in progress. Like we built an application from scratch. We did some iterations on our AI roadmap generation. We integrated the AI model as well as now we are deploying it. Now, Emergent also offers you to connect your custom domains after deployment, which means if I have a domain, for example, airoadmapgeneration.com or .ai, I can simply connect my domain to my Emergent and my project will be live, which means all of you guys can use it or all of the world can use your project. So going back to our forking status, it says that this session was forked successfully. We can view summary or view session. Let's click on view session and this opens a new Market Pro research for us, which has the previous context for us, which is agent is asking a question. It was named AR Market Hub. Like it decided the name itself. How cool is that? Let's go to our deployment status. It's currently building packages. So as you can see that the deployment is in progress. It includes building package, migrating the database, as well as the export secrets option, plus deploy, as well as run health check. This run health check is nothing but checking if your servers are working correctly, if it gets configured, if it's working or not. So as you can see, that the building has now been completed, migration is also completed, secrets were also exported, the deployment was also completed, and it's now at the state of the running health checks. And it took about 6 minutes to reach this particular state, which means under 10 minutes you are ready for your deployment. Like, it takes days to set up servers, configuring clouds, etc. But Emergent does everything for you without you knowing what actually or how to actually do it. Okay, so as you can see that the deployment is now live. You can add your custom domain. Secrets and environment variables are confidentials that enable secret access to APIs and services. Carefully handle these secrets to avoid application failure. So it also gave us a warning to use this environment variables carefully, but our agent is now live. If I click on this visit option, you can see that I have a URL called AI roadmap gen.emergent.host. It's hosted on Emergent's platform. If I connect it to my custom domain, it will be called aigenerator.com or aigenerator.ai, and it works perfectly fine. Like, if I enter anything like content creation and choose beginner and select on generate roadmap, let's hope it works. Okay, so you can see that the roadmap was generated successfully. The step one of the content creation is understanding content creation, which is absolutely true, which is learn the basics, its significance in digital marketing, and different content types. So it has also included all the resources for you. Step 2 is content strategy and planning. Now it also includes the cutting edge school videos, and we have been creating content for years now. Step 3 is writing and editing skills. Step 4 is visual content creation. And step 5 is search engine optimization. These are all valid steps, and I can't agree more with my AI roadmap. Content management system, the social media content creation, the analyzing and iterating content. So all these 8 steps made sense to me. So this is how you use Emergent to make your idea come live. Now let us know in the comments, what are you building today? And now over to Ansh.
Thank you so much, Rohak, for that deep dive. In fact, let me know in the comment section if the video has been thoroughly in depth so far. Let us know if you have any questions, any queries. We'll have our team sit and reply to all the questions. Now, you would have noticed that when Rohak was doing the demo, there were certain features of Emergent that you need to now try out. The first one is the fork mode, and fork is a word that essentially comes from GitHub. And the thing is that when you're using the fork mode, you can basically create a split branch of your project. This is especially useful when the project becomes really, really big. And Rohak has already shown you this. It basically helps you take a product, create a different branch with all the important context in place. Otherwise, this file might hit a barrier. Because after you kind of cross the 200K token limit, there's so much of stuff, extra stuff, metadata in the conversation that it's way better to just summarize the most important context and start with a new branch. So that is called the fork mode. And then the rollback feature. So I want you to try both of these features. And rollback is basically that if you've made a mistake, you can always go back. You don't have to start over. Now, common pitfalls. First common mistake, you might start to build without any clear business requirements. So you might not even know what your customers want, what are they even looking at, and that is actually a very, very big problem. Another common problem is sharing too much of technical requirements, especially when they are not possible by the agent. And this is something that you'll have to try and figure it out on your own. See, these applications are still evolving, and what you're seeing right now is the latest worst of AI. A very common mistake that people make is that they would ask the agent to do hundreds and thousands of things in the first go. It doesn't happen. And do not mix error reports with new feature requests. This is a very common mistake. So if you're writing a prompt and you're talking about an error, don't plug in a new feature request in the prompt itself, and do not interrupt the agent mid-process. Do not change the scope dramatically mid-development. You need to have full clarity before you deep dive. It's almost like, trying to build a house and then in the middle, once you're about to put the paint on the walls, you decide that, oh, we have to change the number of rooms and how the entire naksha looks like. Naksha is the map, the blueprint. So you have to be very clear upfront as to what you're trying to build. Not testing features before reporting bugs. So this is again a very big issue. Most people, when they're actually previewing the entire platform, they don't test it properly. And then they say that, oh, this is not working. So do thorough testing on the URL. Once you click on deploy, test it properly, and then report the bug. Forgetting to commit working code to GitHub. This is extremely important, and Rohak has already explained how this entire thing works. But once you have committed your code to GitHub, the progress is saved, right? It's an important habit. And yeah, this is basic, not providing, implementation summaries when you're clearing context. Or Rohak has shown you already the entire process of how this works. Now, the question is, how do you implement all of this knowledge? And let's just say that you want to challenge yourself to create your first app in the next 30 days. In week number 1, you have to first do your research. And by the way, in the world of AI, your ability to do good research and refine problem statements is going to be one of the most valuable skills that you will ever learn, right? So you have to take this seriously. Pick one daily frustration that you personally experience. It could be you forgetting things, maybe, creating a timetable, finding free resources, maybe sending an email to your customer, whatever it may be, right? Talk to 5 other people who have the similar problem and write one sentence describing the solution. Just one sentence. And you can actually go to ChatGPT and say that, hey, I am trying to work on this idea. Let's have a brainstorming session. Let's do a competitive analysis. You can go to Gemini, do a competitive research there using deep research, and then use Emergent to create an MVP and include only the essential features. You just have to make it work, and you don't have to make it perfectly. Then test it with real humans. Deploy the entire thing, create it into a live app. In fact, share it on LinkedIn, tag me, tag Emergent. We would love to see what you've created. And then collect very specific feedback. That what is it that you truly like? What is it which is annoying to you? And this might take a bit of process. This takes at least 3 weeks to reach this point. And this is when you're spending 2 to 3 hours every single day. And it's going to be a learning curve. There's a bunch of things that even the agent might not be able to solve for you. You will have to prompt again and again. You might have to go on YouTube. But at this point, there is literally no problem that you cannot solve because you have AI. Like literally, there is very few problems in this world that you cannot solve anymore, technically, from a technical standpoint, when you're using a new application. Now, in week 4, if your users have highlighted 6 problems, simply figure out the top 3 issues and create a simple landing page with like a button that says try, and that button can lead to the app. And by the way, the homepage and everything, all of this can be created inside Emergent itself. And with that, we have finally finished a quick crash course. I also know that a bunch of people say in the comment section that, Ansh, why don't you create in-depth videos on all of these tools, right? We are trying to do that as well. We have been making a lot of in-depth videos on N10 and Make, which are like the foundations of AI agents, right? The thing is that we're not really seeing a lot of good response on agentic videos on our end, and we're still figuring out, right? Is it the thumbnail? Is it the title? Is it our teaching? Do we need to add more dopamine and like editing and blah, blah, blah? We're still figuring things out. But we're also in the process of launching our online courses and cohorts for the very first time. In fact, if you are someone who wants to apply as a teacher, I will request you to please send your profile to admin@anshmehra.com. In fact, we are also sharing a Google form in the description where you can apply as a teacher. We are sincerely looking for good teachers, minimum 3 years of experience, because we want someone who's very good at what they do. And if you're someone who wants to teach AI with us for our enterprise trainings in UAE and India, do reach out to us. It's a great opportunity. We are doing something very, very exciting. And yeah, do let me know in the comment section. Don't use ChatGPT. I want you to write a genuine comment. Don't make spelling mistakes. It is very, very bad that you're making spelling mistakes in the age of AI. So I want you to take some time, take your notes, put in the comment section what was the best part. I want you to tell me everything I can do to make the Cutting Edge School absolutely the most trusted and valuable platform globally to learn about AI. We genuinely want to be the best at this, and that will not happen until unless you give us feedback, you tell us what is working, what is not working. I am here to work day and night to give you the absolute best content on YouTube when it comes to learning AI. And we are willing to invest money and time, whatever it is. We are committed to this. And it cannot happen until unless you help us spread the word. We've been working very hard learning and creating these videos, but now it is time for you to give us feedback, join our team, and spread the word. as to what Cutting Edge School is doing to spread awareness about AI. As I keep saying, AI is not eating jobs, it is redefining jobs. And if you do not evolve for this new definition, your career can be at a big risk. So do try to learn these basics, and I will see you very, very soon. Do click on the subscribe button and hit on the bell icon so that you do not miss an update from us. I want you to like this video so that it is shown to more people. I hope that you're taking care of your mind and body. This was your instructor Ansh Mehra, and you are learning from the Cutting Edge School.